Hello and welcome to Nerds with Dice. And we are back with our Vildheim campaign, Valkyrja and Ashen Wake. Today is episode 2, The Threshold Beneath Our Feet. Nerds with Dice, the normal thing. There'll be links for merch, YouTube, Discord, and stuff. They will be popping up in chat. And just let's do a quick round so that you guys can just know who my lovely players are, as I am Vivia Vivacia, so that they can just tell us real quick who they are, who they're playing, and one quick memory from the last session that the character has. Maybe one of the quick things that comes to mind when the character thinks about the last session. All right, we're going to go all the way around, and because I saw Merm's face, we're going to start with Alex.
Caught me off guard.
I thought you were going to be rude.
Okay. Hey, howdy, hi, y'all. My name is Alex. I use they, them pronouns. I'm going to be playing Ariane, who also uses they, them pronouns. And the first thing that I thought of was Miss Etta. Period. Just her in general. She's dope. Big fan. Love her down. Want to see more of her.
Awesome. Yeah, Etta was definitely very, very interesting. She seems to have a lot of fun just being mysterious, in this little town in the Worm's Teeth. All right, next, Torin.
That's me. Hello, everyone. I'm Torin. I use she, they pronouns. I'm playing Rota, who uses she, her pronouns. And as far as what Rota remembers, not much. No, but honestly, just the deep, just wanting items to have memories. And just how, give. Like, so she might be obsessive compulsive. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Desire.
Like, give me everything. Yeah. So very excited to see what we can get this time. That's me.
All right. Which means next, Keldry.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I was looking at my my techie stuff. Ignore me.
Okay, I just realized the captions didn't say Keldry, they said Calgary, and I'm like, I need to enunciate better.
I don't know that they will get that right. But hi, I'm Keldry. My pronouns are am air. I play Lark. Their pronouns are they them. Who is our hunter, warrior, navigator, confused partial spirit. It's fine. One of the memories that I remember from last time was specifically Arian's tattoos and the description that went along with that, which I will leave out for right now.
All right. Timmy, Velcro stream cat trying to climb me with his claws. With that, it's Merm's turn while we're talking about stream cats.
Stream cats. My stream cat is not here currently. He will make an appearance. His name is Polkadot. But my name is Merm. I use she, they pronouns, and I will be playing Yona, who is Bear Woman. And yeah, that's all you really need to know about her. She uses she, her pronouns. And what I remember from last week was those snot-nosed fucking kids. I was gonna beat them up. That's what I remember.
You tried to scare the heck out of them, and Rooney loved it. Weird little kid. Just to remind the people who weren't here last week, or didn't see the first one, our players woke up on a ridge on the edges of the Worm's Teeth with a lack of memories. Not all of them, though. They still remember a good chunk of who they are and the world around them. They think they're Valkyries. They do think so. They don't remember the names of the gods. The world does not remember the names of the gods. The gods been gone for generations. Not sleeping, not, defeated. They're just so here they are. They don't know why they woke up with, dried blood under their fingernails. They just remember being in a battle, making choices, picking up souls, and the next thing, they're flat on the ridge, and there's 3 kids coming over the ridge, like, ha ha, what are you doing here? So that is basically our premise, very irreverently, I would say. Um, Now let's get into episode 2, The Threshold Beneath Our Feet. And tonight's story begins, uh, in Hellbreak. Because after you woke up on that frost-kissed ridge, at the edge of the worm's teeth, it's springtime. You know it's springtime, but it's early spring. Um, and, after the kids let you, being weird and everything with their fossils, to Hellbreak, you met Edda. You talked to Edda. Edda had some insight, even though you did not give her a lot of information because you just met her. So, but she did say if you wanted to learn more about the runes and everything that you have found on your bodies, we would have to journey to Spokstrad and see Drifa. Drifa, who is another scholar. So after she fed you, she had you, or had you guys wash up a little, wash your hands and everything. She fed you some stew. She left you with full trust, it seems, in her home, and went out into the village to get supplies as you are planning to leave in the morning. You guys went snooping a little bit, tiny bit. But then 2 of our characters just got a little itchy from being in the house for that long. And that is where we are starting. You are still in Edda's home, but Yona and Lark are really getting itchy. And they want to leave the house.
Yeah, I think if nobody pulls Lark's attention, then they are going to kind of. I think they walk towards the door, and I think Yona. I don't remember whether Yona said something or just motioned that she come along.
Yeah, Yona doesn't really say much, but makes eye contact with Lark and points at the door and starts walking.
Lark just kind of nods. They're not great at eye contact, but they give they just kind of smile a bit, and walk out the door.
Without saying a single word, right before Yona walks out the door, they turn around and just wave, and then just walk out without saying anything. Totally expecting you to hear me somehow, some way, even though I'm being very quiet.
I don't know that Arian notices. I don't know, because the last time I remember, wasn't my nose in a book somewhere?
Yeah, so you and I are both staring at books at this current
Yeah.
moment. And to be honest, I feel like Rota wouldn't even say anything, but just like a hand just okay, fun.
No, Arian doesn't even notice. Like, head in book. That is
Yeah.
the location of their cranium.
If
right
I
now.
remember right, you had just found an old note that Drifa had left into the book for
Mhm.
Yeah,
for Edda
I think we
about
learned like the feelings and who wrote it,
yeah,
maybe.
I remember you put your finger into the ink to see if the note that wasn't signed was written by the same person, and you found out that Edda's ink is kind of purplish, while the ink on the note is not. And you're thinking that that it's probably Drifa who wrote to her, as it is about the book.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're snooping. Old love letters.
Oh, love letters.
Yee.
We love to see it.
Yee.
I love elder lesbians. Oh, come on, let's go.
Yeah, because I remember that when you put your finger in it, you kind of felt irritation and and like curiosity and just a touch of desire.
Yeah.
And the way the note was intimate, not lovey-dovey or romantic, but just
There's history here.
yes.
So yes, that's what we're doing.
Mhm.
But I feel like Rota's that kind of person that like doesn't have to look at you. Not necessarily to know exactly where you are, but some intention, if you will. So like if Yona leaves, she's kind of like, nah, like you'll be fine. You know what you're doing. Yeah. And not too worried.
Yes. All right. Where was I? Where was I? All right. So two of y'all are stepping out. The others are still snooping.
Mhm.
All right. So as you step out, the chill, crisp air kind of just like hits you like in the chest, and especially to you, to Yonat, it feels like very invigorating, like whew, freedom. You're not, even though the house is big enough for you, because Quiga, the reindeer companion, also lives in there, and you didn't bonk your head on nothing. It is still nice to just step out and be under the big free sky. Um, and as you step out, you kind of look a little downhill, and you kind of see the stream, the cold kind of chilly stream that where the rope bridge was that you crossed over last time to get to Edda's house, and you can see that rope bridge still. And on further down you can kind of see the village, like spread out. um it's kind of, the ground is a little uneven because you're still at the edge of the mountains. And if you remember, Edda's house is built partially into the mountainside, like with dark timber and old stone. It's like snuck into the slope. It has an area in the back that is for like herbs in her garden, but it is still like partially built into the mountainside. And you look down and you see the village of Helbreck, and it spreads across the area. There's the stream is kind of narrow. It's not as wide as fast as it was by the mill that you passed, but it goes through the center. It's still quick and silver bright, and there's like a single arched like wooden timber bridge that's big enough for a cart and somebody like walking next to it. Um, and you also see like low rooftops of like some like thatch and some moss dark wood. It's homey, I would say. It feels loved almost, maintained, not like bright and fresh or dilapidated, Um, uh, and there's the carved bones of the old paths that kind of go through. You can see it. Um, Jana, you will think you can hear some children's laughter, like echoing like faintly from somewhere near the stream, and you can kind of smell cold pine, hearth ash, and something faintly sweet. Baking, maybe some drying herbs. You're not quite sure. Kitcheny, I would say. You can see the village hall that kind of rises near the green at the center of the village, broad-shouldered and bannered. And then to one side, you see the hollow hearth tavern that leans slightly, and the windows are fogged with warmth. There's definitely already people there. Beyond that, there's um, some more of these stone-built outbuildings. They're kind of clustered closer to the rock, and there's seems to be from the signs that you can barely see. Smithy is store, other homes, and there's also a bigger version of a standing stone that stands near the road at the edge of the village boundary. Um, and everything like it really feels lived in, tended, touched by these people's past. And yet, as the wind shifts, especially Lark, you sense it. There's still that quiet hum beneath the world, like a song waiting to begin. It's like you're ready to step out and look around the village.
I think without saying anything, Lark like beelines for the edge of the village. They are used to hearing things and hearing just random chatter of the world and everything else. So when there's not, at the very least, the hum is comforting. They're wondering if there's more they can find.
Right. If we're like orienting ourselves, you guys came from the east, crossed the rope bridge, found Edda's home that's at the very edge, and like kind of down and west is where the rest of the village goes, and where it then crosses the stream that's in the middle. There's a bridge, and close the noise of the children you heard, Yona, was probably close to the village green, close to the stream over there. So there might be kids playing there. That's what you get from that. So which direction, Lark, are you going to head? Towards the village or away from the village?
I think around the outskirts.
Okay.
Kind of circling, kind of more circling it just to see where, what it looks like, where the, like how much of the natural worlds is still seems connected to the village versus if it feels empty.
All right. Well, so as you skirt like the outsides and you look back at Edda's house one more time, and it really it it really looks like it kind of grew into into the mountain. It looks like it belongs. And you kind of just make your way, not following, the main path that kind of curves down, closer to the stream, down to the center of the village, but kind of more to the outskirts, Um, or would you rather be like closer to the stream or closer to like the mountainside? I'm just trying to see if you want to be close to the water or more,
Probably close to the mountains.
Okay. All right. So as you like skirt that, and I'm guessing Yona is are you gonna follow or are you making your way?
I'm just silently following,
All right.
assuming they know I'm following them.
Right. So there's just clusters of homes here and there. They're kind of well tended. There's the normal kind of wildlife and plant life going around. Um, you see that there's actually one or two smaller wooden bridges that it looks like the inhabitants have built over the stream just to get over to the other side, to get where the other houses are, maybe to visit a friend or something like that. Those weren't not straight visible from Edda's house. From there you only like saw the big bridge. Big bridge. um And as you move your way, you actually come a little closer to the village proper, I would say. And if you look towards the stream, you see the green. There's kind of like an area for like a bonfire, an earth in the middle with like some tree trunks around for people to sit. And there's that cluster of the lower buildings. You can see there's a general store with carved post signs and bundles of herbs drying under the eaves. um, there's the village hall, um, and they're like partially protected by some of the rocks. And then there's the Hollow Hearth Tavern. Sits like just like a little further west, a little raised from the main trail, and it has like a thick chimneyed roof. And there's like wood smoke and meat scented warmth like coming from it. You can already smell what they had for lunch. It's like char, tallow, something sharp like mountain thyme, I guess, as an herb, what they cooked with. Um, if Yona listens really close, she can almost hear like some cups clinking and that low hum of voices if she really listens hard. Lark won't be able to hear that, but Yona with her heightened senses would be like, oh yeah, there's already people in the tavern. And then there's another. The path leads out of the village towards the west is where you would be leaving in the morning, and that is where that taller stone is.
Lark will head up the path towards the stone, also probably just muttering, "Where are you?"
Okay, so you're basically northwest from the village green, from where the village hall is, like basically the center. And there's like a short winding trail that goes from the main path. There's like past the tangled roots and slabs of like old stone. And there is a small sign that almost looks like a kid did it, because everybody else knows what this is. I don't know who did it, but it's almost childish. There's a small like old wooden sign that says the Watcher Stone. And the stone looks kind of ancient. It's like partially buried, but easily as tall as Yona. And it's like carved with runes and has like a big kind of spiral in the middle. And it feels like one of the standing stones that kind of dot the landscape here in Vildheim, which are basically what remains of like the ancient times. They were dedicated to deities or spirits of old. Nobody knows their names; they're forgotten. You can find them on hilltops and forests, ancient sites. They're like small conduits of magic.
Lark hasn't heard any of the voices that they are used to hearing since we've gotten here, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so they immediately just put a hand on the spiral on the stone and start tracing it, and then kind of they're not looking at anything. They are very clearly listening to the woods and the plants and the rocks around them, trying to be like, where am I? Where are you?
I want you to roll the first check of the session. Um, Decide what you think you should roll. What are you exactly trying to do?
Oh boy. I feel like it's either something with spiritual or nature, maybe, or perception. One of those would make sense. I don't think it's spellcraft because I'm not trying to.
No, since you're like opening yourself up to whatever there is, do perception.
I also don't know what intuit means. So,
Well, it's your intuition, like you're trying to just feel instead of perception is you're actually just paying really good attention, while intuition is more you're trying to feel with your gut or your heart, like trying to figure out and feel what's
I'm
going on.
going to say that technically that would work better,
Mhm.
and I will roll it even if that is a worse roll for me because I don't have any intuit.
All right.
That's a D10, right? That's just a regular.
Yes. Plus, if you have.
If it's intuit, I have nothing, so that's a 6.
Okay. So, as your fingers, brush the stone's pitted surface, it's cold, cold as frost, even, a little warmer maybe where the sun is hitting it, and the spirals are kind of worn smooth, and so your finger catches over one that seems a little deeper, and you kind of feel the stone like it's waiting, but comfortably, like there's a sadness and a grief that's like ancient and unspent, but also like hope and contentment. You feel like you feel like you're being watched, but not in a malicious way or in a um actually really paying attention to you way, but more like just like the stone is waiting for something and it's paying attention, but it is content where it is. There might have been something that it grieves, but it's content. It's a good place.
We should bring the other 2 past here to look at this when we leave.
As Keldry says that, well, as Lark says that, sorry. As Lark says that, I Yona wants to know what just happened, so I'd like to use scent
Okay.
to see if I can smell anything out of the ordinary from away from what you've already described to me.
Okay.
Just so I'm a little bit more in the know. That's a 5.
With a 5, you do your kind of beer snuffling,
Yeah.
and as you breathe in, and you separate what you're smelling from the smells of the village behind you, you almost smell juniper smoke and old wild honey. It's also an aftertaste of iron on your tongue.
Do I have a direction for that?
Coming from the stone,
Oh.
from the direction of the stone, there's nothing that should smell like that.
Can I smell the stone directly?
Absolutely, can you put your nose directly on the stone? Yes.
I put my nose directly on that.
It smells like stone.
Oh.
That smell, you want it might your brain
My brain
is doing exactly what I did right now. I should have said that first. It's like, it should and then suddenly you remember, oh, sometimes I smell things like Rota feels. That sometimes you smell something that represents the feeling of a spot. If it has not magic, but maybe, spiritual meaning. Sometimes you catch through smell something that Rota or Lark or even Ariane would have by touching it or using their powers. So you have this smell of juniper smoke and old wild honey with an aftertaste of iron on your tongue. And because you rolled a 5, I'm not going to explain it further right now. But that is um, what you get with your extra senses.
Okay. I I turn from my nose being on the stone.
This smells like stone.
I turn back to Lark, and all I say is juniper, wine, tavern.
As you do that, there's actually um, a person that steps out from behind the stone.
I'd like to draw my mace. I'm a little taken off guard.
All right. It's actually you're not quite sure if it's a human or a Vetir female. Um, and let me see. I do have her name. Somewhere. Oh yeah. Uh, and I am just completely.
And this is someone that we both can see, not someone that just larks.
Yes, absolutely. What you actually notice is that it's a middle-aged a woman, middle-aged woman, with a little bit of salt and pepper hair, well groomed, not super fancy. She actually has a sketch pad at your side that you've seen just this morning. Something similar. Rooney had one like that too. And as you pull your weapon, the woman just starts writing on her sketch pad, and then turns it around, and it says, "I'm Silva. I tend the stone."
Lark just kind of blinks and then holds out a hand to Yona in a like I imagine that Lark has hand signs that as someone who's usually a hunter and traveler, even more so than like normal, would have hand signs that they'd specifically make for the group when either Lark can't speak or when speaking is not necessarily the first thing that comes to mind. And would kind of just motion like a halt.
Okay.
Not a put the weapon away, but a halt. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe not.
I get that hand signal. I understand it, and instead, I just start low growling at the person.
You Lark just kind of is not it's like I'm not the social person. I'm not good at diffusing situations. And is just like hi. We're new. Sorry. Do you live here?
And she kind of takes her thing, and with a couple of just she makes a house, and then she points towards a cluster of the village houses, and she points there, and then she makes 2 stick figures, a bigger one and a smaller one, and the smaller one both of them have sketch pads.
Are you Rooney's guardian?
And she nods.
Oh yeah, at that Lark just visibly kind of relaxes slightly.
Yeah, and then she writes down Rooney niece.
Okay.
And as she does that, you guys would notice she kind of has like some cord bracelets, like they have small charms on them, like feathers, carved bones, little pouches of dried herbs, and she touches them sometimes in order. You know, maybe it's just a little fidget. You know, maybe above table, maybe like a rosary, kind of in that way. When you watch the older ladies just do the touching, like that's what they always do. And for Yuna, she probably kind of smells like old cedar wool and some wild sage, probably from the little pouches.
So she
That
doesn't smell anything like what I smelled before.
no, she smells closer to what the stone smelled when you were close to it with your nose.
Okay, so she does like faintly
She
smell.
smells like the stone, but she doesn't smell like the feeling or the memory that you smelled.
Okay, great.
So she smells like she belongs with the stone, but she doesn't smell like the extra memory emotion. And she kind of adjusts. She's wearing like a thick kind of shawl, and it has some what you think a child made, like the little tassels. It looks like Rooney made some tassels to put on the bottom of her shawl, and she writes on her little pad, Edda, and does the questioning thing, like, huh, Rooney said she took you to Edda, so Edda.
Yeah, yes. We're staying with Etta. Um Is it normally this quiet here? Lark is Yona can tell that Lark is clearly struggling to try to describe something, but they don't know how to describe it to somebody else.
So as you say, like, quiet, it's like you look at Rooney's aunt, and she's like, she seems very grounded and deliberate, with that thick shawl around her shoulder, her salt and pepper hair that's very braided very tightly, with the silver strands in it. Definitely prepared to be here a little further out from the village where it's windier by the stone. And you realize that, she kind of lives more quiet than most, anyways. Um, Especially at thinking that she has Rooney in her house and not the other two bickering ones. So she might not be quite sure what you mean.
Yona puts away her mace and asks, "You make stone quiet?"
And she'll just do it like she seems to be used to use like a little pictograph for things that are like easily drawable, where she can draw it quicker. Everybody knows what it is, and she doesn't have to write it out. And she like just a quick thing of the stone, and and then it's the stone, and then it's like always quiet and content.
Time when not content?
And she writes long time before me.
Oh. Uh, Iron? Bad content, not content?
She kind of tilts her head, and then she points towards where you think the blacksmith is.
Iron in mouth, not on hot.
She writes, Rooney, question mark. Like, did Rooney put iron in her mouth?
No.
Rooney not scared of me. I don't know. Weird.
Rooney. Dot. Period.
Okay.
That's Rooney. No, Lark just kind of goes, yes, that seems like the child. No, I meant do you ever get spirits around the village? Not ghosts.
And she kind of nods her head like she's thinking she's understanding, and then she's like, not in the village. The stone protects. Or, and then she kind of does the stone is happy to protect. She's trying to get over that, it's not only that the stone is like, it exists, but that it's something that makes the stone happy in her mind. That it's not just protection doesn't just exist because that's what it is, but that the stone likes to protect in her mind. That it makes the stone happy to protect the village.
What happened when the stone's sad? Or stone
she's like,
angry?
Never.
Before
I tend
you?
stone.
Before you, stone mad. Now you, stone good. Stone happy?
No, others tend stone.
Okay.
And she'll just nod, and then you'll see her, and she'll go, and she will, cross-legged sit, in a spot that you can see it has been kind of cleared. It's one of the flattest spots close to the thing, and she just kind of, sits down cross-legged, and you can see her, touching the little bracelets again. And it almost looks like not just like she's praying, but just that she's content to keep the stone company, almost. Because it's not like that talking. She's not talking out loud or saying anything. It's just she's existing with the stone.
Lark looks over at Yuna and just goes, I want to look for something a little further out. You don't have to come with if you don't want to.
We go together, safe first.
Thank you.
All right. And with that,
before we go, really fast,
Yep.
Can I ask Silva, make me a bracelet?
And she'll look up and points at her bracelet. And she's like, and then she points at Edda's name.
Okay, bring Edda.
Later.
Edda made
house.
it, probably.
Is what she points at. It's like she writes later. She points at when she wrote Edda, and then she points at the house that she drew earlier, and she says later Edda's house.
Okay. Lark, we go.
Yeah, and she kind of starts pulling stuff out of her little pouch at the side, And,
okay. I just quickly have to get a drink of water.
Absolutely, which is good because as you two are now making your way a little out, let's switch back to Rota and Ariane, who are still in Edda's house. What are we doing?
Reading Edda's love letter.
Snooping. We snooping, baby.
We snooping. We snooping big time.
Hey, she
They
didn't say
have
not to, okay?
They're having like this come to Jesus meeting with a stone and Rooney's aunt, and here I am looking through
Ooh.
books like, ooh,
What did she
text.
do?
I do have one thing that I want to do though.
Yeah.
I was looking at my notes from last time, and I think I want to know what the runes on Edda's door say. Because I got some of them, but I didn't get all of them.
Yeah, we got a few of them, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
speak truth, something, something, return wiser.
Right.
Don't touch something, but also touch it.
Yeah, right. It's don't touch the witching stone
Yeah,
unless it
unless
comes for you or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like it sings to you or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let me
Which
scroll.
then they immediately start
scroll,
touching everything
scroll.
else. What?
Nope, that is the wheelchair.
Instructions unclear. Okay.
Trying to make my way. All right, because I remember one of you got half and the other one got the other half.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I believe we shared it once.
Yeah,
Etta left, but I
think
don't
so.
quite remember that part.
No, because I don't think you shared it with each other because once you stepped inside, you were with Edda.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can
And
find the notes.
so if you talk about it now and you piece it together,
Mhm.
of the things that you figured out, it says speak truth, step forward, return wiser.
Interesting.
I
Let's
will
just go
pop it
ahead
in
and
chat.
update that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speak truth, step forward, return wiser.
Interesting. Okay. So now I am nosy about like what that means. So, are there pictures in here?
There seems to be, if you're looking around, let me just remind you, since Edda's home is built partially into the base of the ridge, and as you entered, there's the hearth in the kind of in the middle to the of the room with some seats and some pillows around it. There is her high-backed wheelchair right next to it that looks like the most comfortable seat in the house. There's to your left is a reading and work area with a desk kind of built into the wall, almost like a counter that is at the perfect height if she wanted to roll over her wheelchair and work on it. There's like scrolls, room boards, candles, ink making stuff. There's a shelf with stuff. She has kind of straight ahead. She has the nook with a curtain in front of it that is like a platform bed that's built into there so that she doesn't have to bend her knees. If you remember, she had like reinforcements around her ankles and stuff. There in the back left corner, there's what seems to be her accessible bathroom. In the back right is like the larder and the kitchen, and then there's the rear exit. Closer to the hearth is also an area for Kviga, her reindeer companion.
And that was actually my second question. Is the reindeer still here?
No, the reindeer went
The
with
reindeer
Edda.
left. Got
Yeah.
it.
That
Okay.
is her companion animal, and if so, you remember she has the storm pine prosthetic on her rear left leg,
Mhm.
and Kviga seems to always be with Edda, and Kviga is not quite as big as you would expect from a normal reindeer. Kviga is a little smaller, but that's why the house is built accessible not only for the wheelchair, but it's also accessible for Kviga.
Wow. Shetland reindeer.
She did leave her wheelchair behind, though. She left with her cane.
So I'm nosy, but I'm trying to be respectful. Like I wouldn't want nobody rooting around in my wheelchair.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
Um,
you can definitely look at it. You know, it's not like you want
yeah,
to.
it
I'm
could-
gonna leave her 8 alone.
yeah,
That's an extension of her. Like, nah.
yeah. That's like
Yeah.
digging in somebody's pockets.
Yeah, but you know, if you look at it, you know, you can see it's made from storm pine, which over here is a little rare because that is from the Thunder Peaks. The storm pines grow around the Thunder Peaks to the north, closer to Aska. For the people who've watched the one shot where we were before, that's where the storm pines grow. The storm pines is a kind of veined silvery gray wood, um, which holds magic pretty well and is a big part of the magical ecosystem up there. It's kind of white seeded, high backed. It's rune carved. It seems to have an interesting setup because it has that fold out table that you've seen that kind of has a little warmer for her teacup on it. Um, as you've seen her use it as she sat there earlier. You can also see in the front that near the base of the footrest, there's actually um, two um, places where a harness attaches. You've seen this on cards before. It kind of has a pivotable axe. If you peek on it, you might see some runes around there too that you think have something to do with stabilizing, but you're not a tinkerer. And there's some underseat storage that you can see. The tray, you can see that both armrests have like stuff that can go in and out, you know. And if you just peek a little closer at that tea warming rune plate, it has like a tiny heating grove along it marked with kinas. So that's something that you have not seen yet, but interesting.
Yes. So you said that this wood storm pen holds magic really well. Is it? I don't want to cast no spells on her chair, but I do want to see if there are spells in the chair.
Okay, well, both you and Rota, you would know that the Kinas or Kinas rune is for fire, inspiration, illumination. So, so it's a she's kind of using this rune and this little thing to keep her tea warm. You're not quite sure
That's
how
so
she
cool.
turns it on and off, but it's kind of ingenious way for her to always have her tea warm.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I think the most interesting thing in the house outside of, her love letters or non-existent perhaps love letters. The most interesting thing in the house is her chair and her, but she's gone.
Yeah.
So, Rosa, what have you found?
Definitely, of course, share the rune things so we can piece that part together. But
Yeah.
and I believe Rota already told you about the ink, right? I think I can't quite remember if we did that, but
I'm not sure. But
okay.
I mean, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna like show you the picture and be like, look at what I found. I found this note.
Ooh. And like especially with the note comparing the ink, like this is not from her, sharing that information. And we'll share the feelings that they got from the note or from the ink of, the frustration and just lots of mixed bag there. like something has clearly happened. I'm not sure what it is, but and you just kind of see her just creepily like because she kind of washed her hands. Let's be honest, she didn't. like, and so it's still kind of gross, but she's just like kind of separating the ink, if you will, on her fingers a little bit, and describing the mixed bag of emotions that she got from Edda's ink. Yeah. So seems like she's I don't want to say drama filled, but
I
Got some things
mean,
going on.
well, what else can you do? You live in a mountain house and you know,
Yeah. No.
wonder about U-Hauls, you know.
The idea that U-Hauls are here is great.
Ye old haul.
Ye old hitched reindeer. Yeah, I think I think Dorota just kind of looking around, just well, she's clearly practiced with magic of every kind, pointing, looking with you to the runes and everything on her chair.
Yeah.
Hmm. And if possible, I just kind of want to see. Rota doesn't want to really necessarily dig in all of her stuff. Like, she ain't like that. But do like a bit of a, like, almost a perimeter walk, if you will, around the room, and just
Okay.
try to take in, clearly this woman is good with magic and different forces. If she can, to the level of keep her mug warm, you know what I mean? Like, that takes a certain level of either you really give a shit about that, or you are practiced enough where that's nothing.
Mm.
And so kind of get a feel for how Etta magicified her place and other ways that maybe either are they accessibility, or they, kind of get a feel for her personality and a gauge of her abilities is kind of what I'm looking for. So I don't know if that's spellcraft, if that's perception. But yeah, if I can kind of tell to what level is Etta here, get a sense for who she is.
There is no mechanic for helping in this game, is there?
I've definitely asked before and tried to get some in the one shot. I was like, I know there's not a help faction here, but
I mean, yeah, you know what? Just both do a check.
Sure.
Yeah.
What check would you like?
You could try and use perception to see if you see anything. You can try and intuit it to see where you think you would find stuff. You could try and use, spellcraft to see if you find something. This can go multiple
I
ways.
feel like Rota would do spellcraft and just be like, I'll follow the magic. Please don't be bad.
You do spellcraft, I'll do Intuit. I roll Intuit with Hex.
Ooh, nice. I'm jealous. Ooh, that's not bad. 7 + 1 is 8 for spellcraft.
That is a 10 plus 1.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
11.
So, as you both kind of circle her home, you do notice some things that are definitely made for comfort, like in her little accessible bath chamber. There's the same rune on kind of a water place where it kind of collects water from the outside, and that can make the water warmer for washing. It's like a basically like a wash basin kind of tank, not like a shower, but um, you as you like walk by and close to her bathroom, basically, you also see that there's like some travel supplies in one of the nooks, like extra blankets. There seems to be a harness for Quiga, and you see there's a portable toilet chair that seems to have runes on it that are almost for cleanliness, you think. You're not quite 100% sure. You have um, the feeling that it's meant to keep it cleaner. Not to clean it automatically, but just to make it more resistant to what our modern brains would think bacteria, or something like sinking into the wood. There is the normal stuff in the kitchen. The rear exit, if you peek out, goes to like an area that is half into the mountain but half clear to the sky, and there's like wheelchair accessible shelves cut into the wall where there's like herbs and veggies, and there's some higher up, what are they called when you can't have garden beds?
Raised
Oh,
bed.
like raised garden beds?
Yes, like made out of the local wood
Mm.
for gardening, so that she can, on the days that she can't use her cane, that she can roll out with her thing. There, but you don't see any, aside from decorative, there doesn't seem to be anything out there. um she has lots and lots of books about runes, and I am thinking that while walking around, I think, Rota,
Hmm.
you actually, without thinking about it, run like a finger along like the back of the wheelchair, just out of habit. And you get a feeling of people working together, of resilience and collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the feeling that Edda didn't make this chair by herself.
Gotcha.
That is not something that she completely did. And so, especially knowing what you guys would know, that Storm Pines is that rare silver veined wood, and it's known for resilience, resistance to moisture and cold. And that actually, if it's carved with runes, if you put your hands on it, it might kind of feel like it's like almost humming with the magic. It just takes to magic really, really well. And it's like the wood is always kind of cool to the touch. And it's kind of weird because it never really fully dries. It never gets that really dried wood feel, but also never rots. It seems to always be kind of not alive, but also not completely dried out. It's almost like it's freshly cut.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Rorota would definitely share all of that, and I'm assuming Ariane would as well,
Mm-hmm.
of everything we found, and just, well, I have to say I'm impressed. Everything about her is for comfort, accessibility.
Roll me perception before you step away from the chair.
Sure. 3.
A 3.
I know everything about this chair. I am clairvoyant.
As your finger goes over the thing, over the headrest, you notice there is something that's carved behind the headrest, and it becomes visible when your hands warm it.
Mm.
And it's a
Oh.
rune, and it is I'm not quite sure how to say it. It's Dagis, or it's transformation awakening, the day between two nights. It's like, and then in very tiny script it says, "You are not finished." And it's not in the handwriting of Drifa or Edda.
Hmm.
It might
Okay, so I
be the
haven't
handwriting of
recognized this
whoever
yet.
crafted the chair.
Yeah.
It's like left an inscription with with the transformation rune, and it's and just in thing it says, "You are not finished," and it will only become visible once touched with warmth.
Hmm.
So it seems like whoever helped her build this chair left her a little reminder.
Yeah. And honestly, like even before that moment, knowing that someone helped build this chair for her, Rota looks at Ariane and just, I mean, people clearly love her very much if they're willing to make this for her, and imbue with magic to keep her comfortable.
I
I think it's
mean,
very sweet.
it's kind of hard not to love her, you know? I don't know her well, but she seems to be surrounded by it.
She did try to make me wash my hands.
It's for your own good, Rota.
No, it's not. Anyway.
I slick want some of that storm pine. I'm not gonna hold you. Does she have a spare branch of it somewhere? I'm a witch rogue and I don't have a wand, and I think that's against the rules or something. this close to Pride Month.
It starts tomorrow.
The excuse is I'm gay, so I should get
Yes,
Christmas wand.
I am gay, therefore give me things. Yes.
Give me wand. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, that's how
why
that works.
not wand? Yes.
Go ahead and roll me some perception. See what you
Roll
find.
some perception. Can
That's so
do.
funny.
That is a 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1.
Okay.
1. 7.
So that's a 7. All right. You actually see that the both of the arms are open. You can open them
Nice.
if you want.
Throws his hands over like
I'm gonna just squeak like one finger. Just one. And kind of take a little peek on the inside.
All right. So on the right side is the rune with the plate that kind of comes out of the side, and you can see that if you like to put it back, you would have to lift it open and push it back in. It's one almost like an airplane kind of
a
seat.
little hinge type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And there's actually if you lift like the left one just a teeny tiny bit to peek in, you can actually see that the left arm compartment holds like what looks like rolled schematics, spare hinges, locking pins, kind of replacements, and what looks like a letter.
A letter. I'm gonna look at Rota and say, Rota, hold me back. Hold me back.
Oh no,
Hold
she's
me
already
back.
reaching it. Rosa's not the person you have to do this.
No, I'm saying hold me back as my hands are like
I know,
clawing.
she's already doing it. Like, oh, we weren't going to.
I
Don't
mean,
do it.
since
Don't
we've
touch
already
it.
No, don't. What does
Don't.
it say?
And I think Rota has already opened it and like let it face Ariane. Oh, this is just a horrible enabler. I mean, don't leave her alone.
Listen, we should not be trusted with
No.
people's houses.
At all. She absolutely is already like, as you're saying it's unfolding, like, no.
And before you guys give in to your baser nature and open it up and see what you can find, I think it's time for us to take a break and go to the bathroom, get a snack, get something to drink, and get prepared for our snoopers. And so I see you guys in about 10 to 15 minutes, and this is Nerds with Dice, Valkyrja and Ashen Wake, episode 2, The Threshold Beneath Our Feet. I see you in 15 minutes.
Bye. 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome back from break. Welcome to Nerds with Dice. Remember, all the good stuff will pop up in chat, Discord, merch, YouTube, so you can catch up on the next episode if you want. And this is our Vildheim campaign, Valkyrja and Ashen Wake. We are on episode 2, The Threshold Beneath Our Feet. We have seen Edda leave the house at the end of the last episodes, leaving behind our characters in her house so she could get some supplies for their journey at the next morning. Half of our characters felt kind of stifled inside the house and have gone wandering, looking around the village, checking out the Watcher Stone, smelling stuff and stones, and talking to Rooney's aunt, who also doesn't speak. And now they are heading a little further out of the area as they are, as Lark is trying to connect with the spirits that she normally hears that she can't hear close to the Watcher Stone, who Rooney's aunt said is happy to protect the village. As they were heading out of the village, we went back to Rota and Ariane, who are in full-on snooping mode, who have snooped further around Edda's house, have touched a whole bunch of things, and have now kind of zoomed in on Edda's awesome, wheelchair, which is something they've never seen that, someone created with her. They have just peeked just under the armrest, looking for some extra wood because it is made from storm pine, which is a very rare wood aside from the Thunder Peaks, all the way up in the northwest of Vildheim. And they have basically found where Edda keeps the schematics to the chair and all of the repair pieces. And they have been fighting with their inner urge to pick up the letter that they found in the compartment. And that's
Was it really a
fighting.
fight,
Yeah,
though?
fighting is a strong word.
Fighting. We sort of swan dove into those bad choices.
I asked myself, do I want this? And I said yes, and then I picked it up.
And then I did
Bada
it.
bang. There we go.
Oh.
Yes, so I've been opening the letter to face area.
right. So as you
Nothing?
look at the letter, it's been folded and unfolded a lot of times. And it's written in a dark ink, and it's kind of neat and deliberate. And it looks like the same way that the inscription on the headrest that you found. It says, Edda, there. The last bolt's in. Shouldn't rattle, but if it does, listen first before you curse me. Might be the wind or your bones. Grease the front wheel twice before the frost sets and check the right axle after every long haul. I carved the grips from that alder branch you liked. Still smells faintly of smoke and rain if you press your cheek to it. Figured you want something of here in Jägersheim with you, even if you're headed off chasing ghosts and ancient bones. You're not built to sit still, Edda, and that's underlined. Even if the world tries to make you. You've got too many questions clawing at your ribs, and I've seen what happens when you don't follow them. This chair isn't to hold you down, it's so you can keep going. There's a sliver of iron set into the back left brace. You'll feel it if you run your hand underneath. Old habit. Warded it myself. For luck, for the road, for whatever nonsense you're about to get into. If you end up cursing my name halfway through a storm, good. Means you're still alive. And if you find something worth telling, light a fire for me. I'll find it, one way or another. Or you could just write me a letter, Edda. Just let me know how the chair's working out. And it's signed, Ulrich. And then,
Ulrich.
kind of, as it looks like it was a second idea, and it says, inventor, tinkerer, runesmith.
First of their name. No, I'm kidding.
Kind of like he had the urge to. He knew exactly that Edda knew that, but he still had to write it
Getting
underneath.
used to it. Yeah, everyone calls me this. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you take a peek, that is the same handwriting that's on the schematics.
Mhm. That's cute.
It's very cute. So, like, is Hallrick dead or what?
If I look at this letter, I know you said it's been folded, unfolded many, many
That's
times.
why I'm curious.
Yeah, like, is it super old or super loved? And or both?
Old.
Okay.
Got it.
You can see that she has read it often, but there's not like tear stains or anything on it. It seems
that,
like it feels encouraging, kind of like the same way he left the inscription for her behind the thing to remind her that
You are finished.
it's not over.
Yeah.
Using a wheelchair does not mean it's over.
Yeah.
And while you were actually looking, you realize that under the right armrest there's another inscription, like where the thing goes.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, well, one of you reads out aloud, the other one's kind of like, let's look under this one too. And it says, some people walk, others roll through the world with more dignity and more tea. And it has like a small teapot next to it.
Okay. Some people roll through the world with more tea, honey, period.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So
Sounds to me that obviously they know her well, but
yeah, if you
kind of
guys want
reminds me of a
to
brother.
roll some lore, especially Rota, since you're a
Sure.
lore keeper, to see if actually the name Hallrick.
Where's my
You.
character sheet?
I wish
Lord,
I had a point to
none
that.
of
I
you
do not,
than that.
but that's okay.
I'm gonna roll it anyway.
We got this.
We're
By
gonna
our
do-
powers combined. Ooh, not bad.
I got a 9.
I got an 8.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
So I'm thinking that, together you're like, Hallrick, Jägersheim, inventor, tinkerer. Wasn't there one? I think so. Started with an M. All right, and you realize together that you think there is an artificer tinkerer in Jägersheim that's called Hallrick Mottenson, which is a very queer, neurodivergent craftsman who's more known for what Rota says, devices that listen, not bark.
Oh.
So
Devices that
he is
listen,
not
not
one to make flashy stuff. He makes stuff that people need.
Yeah. And Roto will just say, fits the observation earlier of like this person, Etta, this person is clearly very smart and magic versed, but it's not for, like, I am the strongest. It's not
Yeah.
pompous. It's not braggadocious. Yeah.
So it seems she found a collaborator that is also more about what somebody needs, not to be flashy and show off.
Yeah. Because this is not, it's not even flashy or anything. It's literally just functional and comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
flashy, I think, when you look deep, but not obviously.
Yeah.
It's very heartfelt.
I mean, what master doesn't include a flare or a filigree?
Yeah. It reminds me of maybe a beloved brother.
Yeah.
Alex, since you were the one who looked into the left arm compartment and found there, roll me some perception.
Oh, I have a thing to that.
Get it.
That's another 9 plus 1 is 10.
All right. You actually find between the stuff a little contraption that doesn't look very Hallrick. And as you pull it out, you realize it's like a side mirror charm that Eda can clip on her armrest. And it has, in very childlike thing, Rooney engraved into it. So Rooney made her like a little side mirror so she can actually see behind her. It's like, like a broken piece of a mirror, and it's just, she used some wire, and it's almost like a broken wire hanger, with a little piece of mirror, and that she can, like, push over the armrest when it's close, so she can use it as a mirror.
That's so cute. Rooney is so cute. Oh my god. Okay. So now my concern becomes we have all but defiled this poor woman's house. Um I want to put everything back where it's supposed to be. I mean, she might know that we looked, but at the very least I don't want it to be obvious.
Yeah. You don't get the feeling that she wanted to hide anything from y'all. She just walked away. She left her most precious possession and everything right there.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Rhoda just walked off.
That's real.
Didn't put anything back.
I think what's funny to me is that Etta came off initially as extremely trusting, but now I just think she's slick a badass. Like, 'cause, like this
give a
is
shit.
not the type of person I want to fuck with.
Nope.
So
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna put things back real nice and neat.
Yeah, no,
Real nice
respectfully,
and neat,
not like
yes.
trashed at all.
Yeah,
nothing like that,
absolutely, respectfully.
but not like I don't think Rhoda cares about being caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I
that's
think she's,
fair.
Like, definitely treat it with reverence, not
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't ransack her place.
No, not at all. Thought about it, did not happen.
Yeah, no. But I think it feels good just to have a good impression of her.
Yeah, to understand more who she is.
It feels more like you walked around the house with a finger on something, not like
Yeah. What's in these drawers? Yeah, no. Not like that. Yeah. Sweet.
Should as it is, the stew was delightful, but I need something to wet my whistle.
Oh.
And she didn't give us water.
I'm sure there's something around here. Stream outside. Other things.
Ooh. Should we might, I don't know, should we find Yona and Lark?
Sure,
Maybe they're
they've awkwardly
thirsty
stared
too.
at someone.
bird.
Oh yeah. We'll just follow the sound of cringe. It'll be great.
That sounds about right. We'll just kind of like fluff up the robe and the furs around her neck and everything. Like, here we go again. Gone to the cold.
Off into the cold world
Mhm.
to find our friends.
Still didn't find that stone. I think she just like does one small, like just quiet, like, is it gonna say anything?
Because like, where is it? And
It didn't say anything.
it didn't say anything.
I'm a little
I thought it was
disappointed.
supposed to speak first. Like, say what you chest, Stone.
I really wanted to touch it. Like respectfully closing the door, but also just like
Yeah, you get in your head that she might have been fucking with you just for fun, because you can't tell what she actually means and what she didn't mean.
Still.
So as you guys leave, and you get the same view that the others do, we're gonna go back to Yona and Lark, who are just walking a little bit further out of town. And as you're walking, are you gonna go uphill or downhill?
I
Because
think Lark is walking.
uphill,
Lark
downhill,
is walking uphill probably.
Yeah, because if you're walking downhill, you're walking further like west, where you're going to go tomorrow. And if you're walking a little bit more further uphill, you would walk back in the direction of where you came from, basically.
I think I think back in the direction we came from, mostly just because the maybe to get a better view, but also just poking at the trees and rocks to be like, where is everything?
Yeah,
where is
so,
everything?
You are just moving further into the little forested area. the thing. If you're looking further up, you might see way in the distance, the smoke from where the mill would be. That did you remember where the mill would be? And the further away from the stone you get, the lesser the feeling of that you didn't even realize what the feeling of that contentment of home, of tended gets. So you think that Lark would probably think that the further away you get from the Watcher Stone, the lesser its protection gets.
I don't think Lark is really concerned with protection right now. They're mostly just seeing like where all the spirits, where all
Yeah.
the voices that I usually hear, where are all the
Yeah.
things? Where did the things go?
Which would is protection would basically include. It's like it just you would, the further you go away from the Watcher Stone, the more normal the noise would get for you.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, Lark is just kind of like, oh, but this means I have to go back and deal with people.
We go, people?
Oh man.
Why go? Quiet now or loud?
More noise.
But more noise than stone?
Yes.
Oh. So stay away from stone?
We can't. We can't. We should probably head back.
No. Okay. I'd like to do another perception check to see if there's anything weird out here.
Okay.
With my bear nose. Please. Please.
Weirdest things are us.
That's a 6.
All right, with a 6, you do your bear snuffle, and it smells like the woods. Hi, Raiders. Hello, welcome to Nerds with Dice. We're playing a well-timed TTRPG campaign called Valkyrja and Ashen Wake, where all my lovely players have lost part of their memories. They still think they're Valkyries, but they don't remember the names of the gods. Nobody does. And people say the gods have been gone for generations. And now here they are in a small mountain village, just trying to figure things out. So, since you just, you got a 6, it's not too bad. But yeah, it seems like the further you walk, the less you smell of the village, the less you smell the Watcher Stone. It seems like the whole village smells a little like the Watcher Stone, like the stone that you put your nose on earlier. And but else it is normal wildlife, it's normal noises, it's nothing pings you as dangerous or as if it doesn't belong.
I turn to Lark and say, smell tavern, drink mead.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay. Stay here. Stay with me. Stay behind. Protection. And mead.
You're better. You don't count as people. It's good.
Oh. Happy. And it kind of like bounces away. Just smelling for mead.
the big old bear Walkin just bounce.
A
bounce,
7-foot
bounce.
bear. Just
We're gonna drink now.
It's just yay drinking, and Lurk is kind of like,
So
okay,
it,
but I guess I'll deal with people if there's need.
so I am thinking that, as Arian and Rota step out of the house as they finished snooping, and they're like, all right, well, let's see where the others are and what we're gonna do. I think they actually, as you can from Edda's house, you can kind of see down Halbleg's, the rest of the thing. I think you see Yona's big little skip walk as she is heading towards what looks like a tavern. It's a little further west than the village green, which is it's slightly elevated, and it's kind of like built stout and kind of round into the mountain. And yeah, you can see that's Yoyona happy and heading towards the drinking hole.
Oh, I think I see Yona. If that's Yona, then Lark must be not too far behind. It looks like Yona's in a good mood.
It's probably going to be alcohol afterwards.
I
Or
mean,
not far away. Yes.
I did say I wanted something to wet my whistle. It doesn't have to be water.
It's fine. Sure, there'll be plenty of people to talk to. I think you kind of see like a little, like her eyes get a little wide, like people talking, and her fingers curl a little bit. Like, okay.
All right, let's get you to the people talking and me to the mead.
So Yona and Lark, you're gonna get to the tavern first. It's kind of built into the mountain, a little more even than Edda's house. It's really kind of stout. It has a sign on it that has like what looks almost like a hobbit hole, with a badger next to it and a tankard. So, and as you go inside, the warmth kind of hits you first, like straight up, in your face after, the crisp mountain air and walking around outside for a while. And you hear the low crackle of the hearth that is in the back, and you smell the wood smoke and some pine oil and something hearty that's slow roasting over coals. And then as you look up behind the counter stands a figure like carved earth and old bark, broad across the shoulders with thick arms bare to the chill and fur-lined cuffs pushed up to his elbows. He is almost your height, not quite, but almost. He has a mane of dark curls. They're peppered with ash gray, bound back with a leather tie. He has a beard that's neatly kept but full. It frames a face that's lined more by laughter than age. His nose has been broken more than once. His eyes are deep set and honey brown. Move slowly, kind of assessing, like someone used to watching firelight and listening to silences. And Lark, you can tell he's a wildkin even before he says anything. I mean, there's something kind of feral in the way he moves, kind of just like Yona is too, measured, low to the ground. And even to you, there is a smell, not unpleasant, but like loamy soil, crushed juniper, and fur warmed in the sun. And as he looks over at you two and kind of settles on Yona, well, he rumbles, his voice deep and full of stones and smoke. You're new. Hungry? And you tell he doesn't rush his words. He doesn't seem to rush anything. But there's a keenness behind his easy manner, like a rogue's edge tucked beneath the woolen leather. This is a man who's fought but prefers not to, who's lost things but kept the heart of it intact. And he's the kind who'll pour you a drink, call your friend, and quietly size up your soul in the space between heartbeats.
I would like Yona to try to go in for the predator like handshake. Full like
All right. So as you do that, it's like, you do that, and he looks at you, like, has to look up a little. He's probably not used to having to look up at people. He says, "You're built like a winter pine, sturdy, steady. Don't suppose you chop wood as well as you take up space, do you?" It kind of gives you that smirk.
I chop wood.
Hmm, good. Might have to keep you around, just if the snow comes back again.
Mead
And then
for
he looks at Lark and says, "Hmm, what would you like?" And then he says, "You
Ah,
know what? You've got that look, like a kettle left too long over coals. Doesn't have to boil over. Not here, but sit. You talk, I pour. Or just sit and stew. Both work, okay? Just sit." And then he kind of turns back to Yona and he says, "There's stew on. There's bread. Uh, the roast isn't ready. But sit down before I grow fond of the idea of you standing there forever."
Yona doesn't say anything and just turns around.
Luke was like, "Wait, are we getting?"
Yeah. Just trying to reconnect. That was so freaking
I
funny
just
though.
got a reconnection successful, so hopefully it works. There we go.
Looks like it.
And we are back.
Hi,
Also,
everybody.
everybody check your captions. Torin, I didn't see yours earlier, but
Yeah, I did the
Actions
pause,
are
unpause kind of thing. So theoretically, it might be back.
Okay.
We'll see if it's popping back.
I think refresh because I'm not even seeing mine.
Okay.
Yeah, the tech gremlins came.
Oh, the captions are working on the thing, but hold on.
Yeah.
I cannot
We all
see.
heard the description of the man, and we were like, "I'm sorry."
What?
Right, like
Excuse
listen,
me?
even the stream was
Yeah,
like, no,
excuse me?
actually, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, go
about
back to that.
this.
The
Like
part.
rewind and go slow.
The rest of this
Tell
scene
me
is
about that Badger man again.
so freaking funny. I swear, because you're describing him, and I was me, not Rhoda, was just like, excuse me, and you're like, and then
Right.
there's a smell, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then you said, oh, he takes his time, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm back.
That's
You
when
got
I
me.
like. That's when I fell out. I was like, "Oh, he takes his time, does he? Oh, really? Is that so?
I
Tell me
swear, if there's a
more."
screenshot of that, I have no doubt that Alex and I are both like, eyebrows up, we're listening. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. I'm
Yes,
okay, I'm done.
absolutely.
I shall mute again.
Oh man, but the caption haven't come back yet. I see mine, but I don't see
Yeah,
them on
I see.
stream.
Don't know why it's overlay is. I don't know why it's deciding that it's being weird.
So I'm gonna take those. We can gossip more. So anyway, no. I'm kidding.
Yeah, the captions were like,
Kidding.
"Oh man, we can't take that Badger man."
Yeah, like,
The captions. Badger Man killed the captions.
Oh,
Listen,
ew.
sometimes thirst is an action. You know,
Full
It
action.
can be a
sometimes
full,
it's a
like a free
technical
action.
difficulty.
Like I know
Yeah, free
crying is a
action,
free action, but
thirst.
can thirst also be one?
I gotta wet my whistle, and that's a full action.
I need to replace my spells. Give me just a moment.
I'd like the homebrew a spell. It's called wet my whistle.
Yes, yes. Don't let my players hear this. I will never hear the end of it.
Oh god, that'd be so funny though. Writes down for future campaigns.
It's kind of a good thing that we don't have captions right now, so that this way this doesn't end up in a
This is super
transcription
important for all future viewers, okay?
Listen, this will be on the test. Take notes.
Take notes. Take notes.
Absolutely,
his
because you
name.
know what? He hasn't even said his name yet.
I
But
know.
you know,
I thought I just mentioned it. Never mind.
No.
It's fine. It hasn't been said yet.
I was gonna get the
That's
4 maids
taking
in my
me
hand.
out.
I was
I
just gonna say
am-
my name and walk away.
I enjoy how
flirt.
literally all of this is just going, like all of this is going over Lark's head.
So I immediately
I
turned back
truly love
around.
this.
I
Oh
was like,
no.
oh, the meat.
Right. The whole reason I was here. Sorry.
This is
What I
my
think we're
mark.
gonna do is, while everybody is enjoying the first high of Badger Man, we're gonna take just a couple of minutes to see if we can fix the captions, and then we're gonna return and meet the man again. How about that?
Sounds good.
And hope that the
Okay.
stream doesn't lose it this time.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
honestly a little worried for when
Right.
Ariane
5-minute.
and Rota meet him.
Are we just doing a 5-minute break?
We're taking
Take
a
a quick
5-minute
break.
break to
Tech
beat the cat
gremlin.
goblins.
Yeah.
Hold on, because I do not know that I can access captions while
I think
we
she
are
was
on break.
freaking out.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
it
fun to
is.
watch, but
It is. Hold on, I
Yeah.
gotta like
Stream
do
has
big
just
actors.
decided to freak out. I don't know what to do
That
with this.
moment.
Right, let's just go to break for 5 minutes. I
Yes.
can go to the
okay.
bathroom
Oh,
and
now
get some
it
water.
works.
Oh.
We thirsty.
Literally.
Bye.
Literally.
Hello and welcome back. We have hopefully fixed the captions. No, I cannot see any captions.
No.
Um, that's what happens. That's what happens when I introduce a very hot Badger Wildkin tavern keeper with amazing biceps that's not wearing much sleeves. That's what happens. We have absolutely killed the
I didn't
stream.
realize he had no sleeves and biceps. All right, that's fine.
That's
Yeah,
why
you got
Predator like
distracted.
handshakes with so that our biceps could flex together.
Yes.
That is so
Yona's a girl's
gay.
girl, and I love it.
It
love it so
That's
much.
why Yoda exists.
Hell yeah, Yona, let's go.
Let's go, Yana.
So
Oh, what's
what
more
we're gonna
gay
do
than
is we're gonna end the thirst a little early today, and we're gonna in 2 weeks when we come back, we're gonna start again with the tavern keeper who has not even said his name yet. Just flirted with Yana, and
It's
made
Imagine
Lark.
Rockin'. That's my
Yeah.
Rockin'.
That's his name.
So that our captains don't miss any of the fun stuff. We're gonna go around and my players are gonna say who they are, where we can find them, what cool stuff they got going on, and I don't even need to ask what their favorite part of today was, but um because yeah, I think it was everybody's favorite part. Definitely, I was definitely excited. I'm like, we're gonna get to the tavern. So, let's just go around. Tell me and everybody else who you are, where we can find you, and the cool things you gonna do, and yeah, let's start with Merm this time.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Mermaid. She, they pronouns. I played Yona, Wildkin, Bear Wildkin, who uses she, her pronouns. I'm flustered. You can find me at mermtrain.bluesky.social. I post a bunch of stuff about all the stuff that I'm doing, which is super duper fun. I unintentionally made myself super busy this summer, and I have an ungodly amount of campaigns that I will be in one shots over the course of the next 3 months. Wow, I love it. So check it there. I will probably be going live 5 out of 7 days for the summer, which I'm really excited about. Wow,
Woohoo!
I'm so tired.
Just thinking about it,
When
I'm tired too.
right, the one I can't tell you about is on Monday. I will be on the Sorting Key channel on Twitch, where I will be playing Fragments of Lost, where I play a buff nerd named Wea. And I don't know, I just play really buff women characters everywhere. I
Oh
don't know
no.
what it is. I
We
just don't know
want
what
them.
it is.
I
Give us
think
more.
we need more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
always.
thank you for your service.
Yes. You're welcome. And that's me.
All right, next up is Torin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity on Twitch. Probably the easiest place to find me. My pronouns are she, they. I've been playing Rota, who is she, her, and about to get real creepy on this poor man. Anyway, as far as things I'm in or where to find me, for the current this week and next week, I'm actually taking vacation. So just doing very few things and just spending time resting. After that, we have the Blood and Lyrium campaign, a Dragon Age campaign at the Transmissions RPG, and that's every Tuesday. It's very fantastic. They're going through some things. It's wonderfully dramatic. Otherwise, I'm in a lot of things, kind of like Merm. I'm on at least 4 or 5 days a week on the internet. Best place to find me is on Twitch to see what's going on. So you can find me there at Torn Talks Creativity. Thank you.
Yes, Torin's been super busy doing work shit every time I wrote Torin a message. So Torin deserves a break. So I can bother Torin in the middle of the night.
Anytime.
Like plot. And next, Alex.
Oh, me. Hey, howdy, hi, y'all. My name is Alex. I use they, them pronouns. I have been playing Ariane, who also uses they, them pronouns. And sorry, I short circuited thinking about that man's biceps. So anyhow, what am I doing? Where can you find me? So I am executive producer over at Baddie Bars, and we just released information about our Baddie Pride event, Baddie Pride 2025. We are doing some cool shows. We're doing a panel with some really awesome Black, queer, and trans people. So if you're interested in anything gay, Black, or trans this Pride, we got something for you. Come follow us at beacons.ai/Baddie Bars. And if you want to follow me and see what I'm doing, because there are things that I am forgetting because there are lots of them. If you want to follow me personally, you can find me yapping away on Blue Sky at AlexAMA_ or AlexAMA. That's me. Also, let's talk biceps more, you know? Anyways, sorry, Keldry.
And last but not least, you know, our tech cryptid, Keldry.
Hi, I'm Keldry. I am, my pronouns are am air. I am your resident, I mean, autistic, intersex, queer tech goblin. And I played Lark, the hunter Fetier, who is a secondary bicep owner. It's pretty important. Um, I mean, do you have any idea how much strength it takes to use a longbow? Um,
Tell me more.
I could actually tell you exactly. I'm just gonna continue this. Uh, Mostly from me on Notes with Dice or on Singularity Roleplay on occasion. I My mic has decided to be weird, so I apologize for that. But yeah, and to be contradictory, my favorite thing tonight was, I think it's Silva, Rooney's aunt. That I would say, I rate that above, uh, our bartender currently.
That's very Lark.
Yeah, very real. Very real.
Yeah, that would be me. Thank
And hi, I've been your storyteller. I'm Vivi or Vivacia. You can find me on Blue Sky, pretty much exclusively lately reposting shit at Vivacia. You can also find some of my other stuff if you go to vivacia.contactin.bio. It has some of the links to some of the YouTube stuff and some Brindlewood Bay I ran, which is, another one that I really love. Not We didn't play this week, so in 2 weeks on Wednesday I play in Stella Luna's one of her Patreon campaigns. We're playing Strixhaven, where we're also very gay but also very not rule breaker. A very interesting combination of uh, you know characters. I would like to remind you guys to mark your calendar in June from the 20th through the 22nd, where on here on Nerds with Dice, we'll be raising money for the Trans Justice Project, and we're having a stream marathon. You will also see some of these beautiful faces that Saturday evening as we're having our third one shot in our series, where they're playing a little bit different characters, but it's going to be a lot of fun. On Saturdays at 12 p.m. Central, here on Nerds with Dice, you can watch Emergent. And we come back in 2 weeks. We're going to do this 4 more times on Fridays at 9 p.m. EST, and then we're going to take our summer break. And then in the fall, we're going to come back for 6 more episodes. And then, find more Nerds with Dice adventures, over on YouTube. Also, our one shots and session 1, or if you just want to listen to the description of, the Bedroom Man again, you can watch saved videos over there. You can stay updated on everything Nerds with Dice by subscribing to Nerds with Dice on the Substack. There is a creators app that's always open if you have a story you wish to tell or a game you wish to showcase. So if you have a really cool indie game go ahead and showcase it. Also, it doesn't have to be a big one. Duets would also be cool. That's also a fun thing to do. So absolutely, hit that create up if you like. And Nurse with Dice is also on Blue Sky, or you can just follow the link to the Discord that will absolutely pop up in chat, so that you can join us and talk stuff and see pictures of the cats. And that is about it. I am so excited to have been able to introduce you guys to the world of Vildheim and my own little crazy corner of it. So thank you guys for sticking with us through the tech gremlin problems, and I will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 9 p.m. EST. See my lovely players and me again in Valkyrja and Ashen Wake. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.